Right, looking at our review, the first two questions, they're asking us find a measure of one interior angle in each regular polygon. Round your answer to the nearest tenth. So interior angle, obviously the angles on the inside. We want to know how big is just one of them. One thing we can do is find out how much all of them add up to. So for that we had a formula, n minus 2 times 180. So find out how many sides there are. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we know n equals 8. So for us to find out how much all of them add up to, I'm just going to go 6 times 180. Remember the 6 because it's n minus 2. So 6 times 180 is what, 1080? So all of them add up to 1080 degrees. The question here is how much is one of them? Let's divide this by 8. 135? Thank you. So one angle is 135.
That's for interior angles?
That's for the interior angle. Remember, we do have the formula for the all of them, n minus 2 times 180. And when I do find n, remember, I do count the sides because it's easier to count a side than to count an angle. They have the same amount, so that's why I count the sides, even though we're talking about angles. All right, so question number 2, you guys pretty much have it the same way. Now, question number 3 says find the measure of one exterior angle. In each regular polygon, round your answer to the nearest tenth if necessary. So first, let me find out how many sides there are.
12.
There's 12? All right, so there's 12 sides. So n equals 12, right? We count the sides. So for the exterior angles, the angles on the outside, for those, remember I'm talking about those little angles outside. For those, I know all of them add up to 360, no matter how many there are. For the exterior, it is always 360, no matter how many. So we're going to have 360 divided by 12. How much is that? 30. So each angle is 30 degrees. And then we look at it, and it does look like 30 degrees, so it makes sense. Right? Logic is a good thing to double check your work. Right, any questions for the for the first 4? We're good? Right, looking at question number 5, solve for x. We're dealing with the mid-segment of a triangle. I know that segment and the side, they're not the same length. The mid-segment is half of the big side. So what I'm going to do to let them equal each other, I'm going to multiply the little one by 2. So 2 times x plus 19 is equal to x plus 26. Multiply the little one times 2. So I'm going to have, for the little one, I should have 2x plus 38 equals x plus 26. My x from the right, let me bring it to the left, that's a negative x. My 38 from the left, let me call it on the right as a negative 38. How much is 2x minus 1x? X. How much is 26 minus 38? Negative 12. X is already solved. If you have, technically there's a 1 in front of the x, but if you have a number that is not a 1, divide both sides by that number. Right? We're not going to divide by 1 because nothing's going to happen. So you guys have those for questions 5 and 6. Questions 7 and 8 are pretty much the same idea. It's just that you have to solve for x and then you have to plug it in. So I'm going to, the little side is 2x minus 12. I'm going to multiply that by 2. And it is equal to 2x minus 4. So I have 4x minus 24 is equal to 2x minus 4. Remember, multiply the little one by 2. I'm going to bring the 2x to the left. I'm going to bring the negative 24 as a positive 24 on the right. On the left, how much is 4x minus 2x? 2x. On the right, how much is a negative 4 and a positive 24? 20. So what's x? 10. Okay, so here the question is find PR. So notice from P to R is 2 times x minus 4. We know x equals 10. So how much is 2 times x minus 4? 16. Perfect. So once again, questions 5 and 6 only solve for x, right? Do read the instructions. Questions 7 and 8 solve for x and then plug it in. Any questions so far? No? All right, looking at question number 9, find the measurement of the angle indicated for each trapezoid. I know because it's a trapezoid, standing on the base, the two angles on the left have to add up to 180. One angle is 95. How big is the other?
85.
85. Right, you just subtract it from 180. If it is an isosceles trapezoid, the angles on the other side repeat. If it's not isosceles trapezoid, they don't repeat, but they also add up to 180. The two angles on the right. All right. Any questions up until 12? No. All right. Looking at number 13. Find the length of each diagonal indicated for each trapezoid. It's a trapezoid. I noticed that from D all the way to B, all that diagonal is 11.1. Right? I know that because it was given right here. Now my question is, how big is CA? 11.1. Because the two diagonals have the same length. It's just kind of like when we covered the quiz, this was the only section where I gave your answer in decimal. Because this is just copy the decimal. That's all you do. Not that hard. It's not that hard. The other sections, no decimals, except for the angles at the very beginning. They might have decimals there. Any questions up until 16? All right, looking at 17, for parallelograms, one thing we gotta do is, remember, opposite angles are equal. So what I mean with that is, if they were asking for angle U, that is 145 degrees, because opposite angles are equal in parallelogram. Not trapezoids, but parallelogram. So if they're opposite, you know they equal each other. If they're adjacent, that means they're connected by a side, like it is our case here. Angle W and angle V, they're adjacent. They don't equal each other, but they do add up to 180. So I'm going to say 145 plus 2x plus 17 is equal to 180. I can simplify the left. I can combine 145 and 17. I can combine that. That is 162. So we have 2x plus 162 is 180. My 162, let me bring it to the right as a minus 162. I have the 2x equals, what's 180 minus 162? 18. So 2x equals 18, what's x? Yes, 9. The directions are solve for x, so we're done. Do read the instructions. Yes, that's it.
What about 22?
22. I'm looking at 22. I'm looking at the whole angle x and angle W. Keep in mind I said the whole angle x is broken into two parts. Notice they're adjacent, so I'm going to add those and equals to 180. Right, for angle W, I get 5x plus 4. Right, that's angle W. For the entire angle x, I'm going to get plus 78 plus 5x minus 2. Right, angle x is a little more complex because it got cut down to two parts. And all this is equal to 180. I can combine my like terms. 5x plus 5x, that's 10x. And 4 plus plus 78 minus 2, that's 80, and this is equal to 180. I'm going to simplify it a little. Then I'm going to move my 80 to the right as a negative 80. So 10x equals 100. What's x? 10. I'm thinking angle x was an entire thing. It was two angles in one. Any questions up until 26? Perfect. 27, opposite sides. If you notice, I'm talking about the sides. The measurements, they're outside because it's about the sides. Opposite sides are equal. So I'm just going to say x plus 7 is equal to 13. My 7, move it to the right as a minus 7. So what's x? 6. Solve for x, so we did, that's fine. I think you guys would be good up until 30, or 31 I mean. 32 gave us a little hard time. YC, so from Y to C, it's 6. So from C to W is also 6. So we're going to come and say 6 is equal to 6 plus 2x. Like it's from C to W 6. I'm going to bring the 6 to the left, that's a negative 6. So I have that 0 is equal to 2x. Like 0 is a number. 6 minus 6 is 0. So if 0 is equal to 2x, what's x? 0. This is one of those easy questions because it's easy to deal with. But sometimes when it's too easy, we think it's wrong and we confuse ourselves. 0 is a number. Let me take a look at 33. From U to Y, it's 17. So I know from U to W, that's also 17. So now the second statement says WY. How much is it from W to Y? 34, yes. So we have 34 is equal to 4x minus 10. I think the rest you guys can finish it. The hard part was WY. Like, do look at the letters. Notice how in the pictures I do write the 17 right where it goes, because it's easier to see. So I do encourage you guys, do write it out. It helps out. Any questions up until 36? All right, 37. Find the length of the base indicated for each trapezoid. I know for on the what I do for the base for the mid segments or medians, however you guys want to call it, for trapezoids, the measurement of the base of the median is 16x minus 6. So I'm just gonna come and say 16x minus 6 is equal to, on my fraction, what I add on the top are the two bases. So I'm gonna have 21 minus 1 plus 16x. And at the bottom, over 2. We can simplify the top as 20 plus 16x. Right, 21 minus 1 simplifies to 20. I'm going to get rid of fractions by multiplying both of these by 2. So that way the 2's on the right cancel out. So I'm going to have 32x minus 12 is equal to 20 plus 16x. My x from the right, I'm going to bring it to the left as a minus 16x. And then my negative 12, I'll bring it as a positive 12. So you said 16x equals 32. What's x? X equals 2. But then I look at the value of the question is find Vy. That is negative 1 plus 16x. How much is that? 31. Perfect. Right, negative 1 plus 32 is 31. The last segment we have is starting at 41. Here I'm asking you guys find the length of the median of each trapezoid. So I'm going to say 7x minus 19 is equal to 21 plus 4x plus 11 over 2. The top of my fraction, I'm going to simplify that as 4x plus 32. 4x plus 32, that's how I simplify the top. Get rid of fractions by multiplying both sides by 2. So I'm going to have 14x minus 38 equals 4x plus 32. You notice that on the left, I multiply the 2 to everything. My 4x, bring it to the left, that's a minus 4x. My minus 38 to the right, that's a positive 38. How much is 14x minus 4x? 10x. How much is 32 plus 38? 70. So 10x equals 70, what's x? 7. So remember, the instructions are find the length of the median. The median is 7x minus 19. How much is that?
30.
30. Perfect. Right, 49 minus 19, 30. Like I said, I had to make the review a little lengthy because we did have a lot to review. Hope it's not that hard because this is the last, before the final, the last test of the semester. So, any questions?